So if you watched the vlog last week, you may know that I've been struck down with COVID and self-isolating for the best part of a week and a half. So I thought this week, having stolen this idea from YouTube, full disclosure, and particularly a piece on YouTube by GQ, I thought I would take you through the 10 objects that I can't live without. And I think it gives a pretty good description of who I am as a person. And I hope that's something you're interested in. So the first object that I cannot live without is my Fujifilm X100F camera. I bought this camera quite a while ago just because I was curious about how much like a film camera it could be, and I just thought it looked amazing. I thought it was a really cute design, and I was looking for a more compact camera to take away with me on holidays and to use when I'm out and about. So I chose this camera, which I bought secondhand. It was super expensive, even secondhand, and to be honest, I hadn't actually used it very much until very recently. And in December, I actually did a meet shoot with this camera because I needed to take something that I could stash away really easily and quickly. And the results of that were pretty astounding for me. It is the most film-like digital camera I've ever used. The depth of field is beautiful, the colours are amazing, it's got a slight grain to it, and I was really sold after shooting with it in December. So subsequently, the meet shoots I've done since then, I have shot on this camera, and it's my intention to shoot all my meet projects with this camera this year because I just love it. It gives me so much more freedom than a big camera, and yeah, I really love it. And I could not live without this camera now. The second object, and anybody who knows me will verify this fact, is tote bags. I am the queen of the tote bag. I have far too many of these. It's embarrassing. But wherever I go, whatever I'm doing, I'm usually carrying a tote bag. And if I'm not carrying a tote bag, there is one in my rucksack or whatever bag I happen to be using that day. I love them. I particularly love these Andy Warhol ones, of which I have 3 different ones. And yeah, I just don't go anywhere without a tote bag. I can stash my camera in it, bits of shopping, whatever I need, and I cannot live without them. I probably don't need 100 of them, which Stuart will verify, but yeah, I love a tote bag. Another thing I can't live without is this Dr. Brandt pore refiner. I am very pory. My face is very pory as I get older, and I use this. It's probably the best thing I've used. It's on a par with Benefit's Porefessional, which I also use sometimes, but I really like this. It's got a bit of tint to it, but it's quite subtle, and it really minimises the pores on my nose and the sides of my cheeks, and I carry this everywhere. I cannot live without this product. My next product that I can't live without is a paper diary. This is my 2023 paper diary. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I'm going, work, social, holidays, concerts, whatever, I have to have it written down and in front of me. If it isn't written down in here, it is gone forever. In fairness, if it is written down in here, I'm still rubbish. But I've tried a calendar on my phone, but I just have to have a pen and paper and write it down. I use this to record stuff I'm doing, where I'm going for work, who owes me money. It's just invaluable. I cannot live without it. It's probably the most important thing I own. The next thing that I can't live without is sensible shoes. I have more than one pair of shoes which are not sensible, and I'm well known for always complaining about having sore feet or tired feet or in the rain wet feet, and as I get older, I am more inclined towards a sensible shoe. Actually, that's not true. I'm still inclined to buy really unsensible shoes, but because I walk a lot in London, I always try and put on something that's really comfortable, like these running shoes, and yeah, a little bit stylish, but the most important thing is comfort. And I wear these when I go out walking with my friends, when I go to work. If I'm doing anything where I'm on my feet all day, I need a sensible shoe. It's a terrible sign of age, but that's where we are. This is another thing I can't live without, and it's a brow gel. I have decided that my eyebrows going grey or white are the thing that's making me look old, and that may or may not be the case, but my eyebrows have always been one of my favourite features, and I have to keep them dark, and they are now starting to go very salt and pepper. So I use a brow gel. This is a brown brow gel, and I just fill in the grey hairs, the white hairs of my eyebrows with a brow gel. And I think, to me, in my delusional little head, it makes me look younger. But I like my look with my white beard, which is, you know, just the way it is, and a dark eyebrow. So yeah, I'm always painting my eyebrows in these days. In the same vein, with my vanity and grooming, I've just bought a skull shaver, and this is now, after about 2 weeks, something I just cannot live without. I used to wet shave my head in the shower. It's fine, but it takes up time. I was always getting cut. I was always missing big lumps. I discovered a skull shaver, and it is the best money I have ever spent. This takes me 2 minutes. It's super kind to my skin, and it's easily transportable if I'm going away anywhere. And I now already, after a couple of weeks of using this, cannot live without it. And this is a Remington. There is actually a brand, I think it was the first brand, and it was actually called Skull Shavers. But this is a Remington version. It was slightly cheaper, but it's brilliant. I love it. And I shave my head with this every couple of days now. And it's a joy to use. Sticking with my head, another thing I am pretty known for is fisherman's beanies. And I wear these in a variety of colours from autumn all the way through to spring. And it's functional because they keep my head warm, but I think it's a cool look. I think on me, wearing a hat kind of takes a little bit of age away from me. And I'm pretty comfortable with the fact that I'm bald. If I had a choice, would I have hair? Yes, probably. I'd probably have some out there hairstyles. But this, to me, just kind of takes the edge off my age, I think. It's an ageless look. With a pair of combat pants and a sweatshirt and a puffer jacket, I think it's an ageless look. And I'm religious about my use of these, and I can't live without them. Always have one in a bag, or usually on the top of my head. Another thing that I've become addicted to probably over the past 20 years, and I hate it, is lip balm. And I cannot be without lip balm. If I go anywhere and I forget to put one of these in my pocket, my day is ruined. And Stuart actually bought me this one because he was sick of my very manky old lip balm that I was using for a long while, and I actually love these little Vaseline tins. I'm a bit weird about it because I don't like having greasy hands, but I can't live without this. I can't, and I've tried. So I always have one of these in my pocket, and in any coat or any bag or any trouser pocket you will always find a little tin of Vaseline lip balm. My final object that I can't live without, if you haven't guessed, is wine. And particularly Kylie wine. I'm a big fan of a Kylie Rosé. Now, I have a complicated, not always healthy relationship with alcohol, but I could not live without a glass of wine. It is one of my favourite things, and it's certainly one of Stuart's and my favourite things, to crack open a bottle of wine while we're watching TV, while we're having dinner, while we're watching a film, while we're out and about, wherever we are. And I cannot live without wine. I'm trying to be more sensible about my drinking because I'm trying to get fit again. I'm back at the gym and I'm eating a bit healthier. But please do not take the wine away from me. Ever. So that is the 10 objects that I could not live without. I guess it says quite a lot about me. I don't know. You tell me. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this, and hopefully you've had a giggle looking at these things that mattered to me in my life, sadly. And I'll see you next time.